Welcome everybody to this call about CBD facts, fiction, and franchising. Uh,
Woo!
yes, very exciting.
Awesome alliteration.
I am Dr. Barbara Freilinger, and this presentation is going to be educational, and it's also going to be something that you can share with others so that they can understand the benefits of CBD, the different options that are out there for CBD. How our product differs from others, and how right now you can build a business around it, and why our organization and our business school that we have will be the best way to prepare you to do so. So with that, I am going to share my screen. And we are going to talk about this. So now can everyone see this?
Yes.
Good. All right. So to start off with, just a little bit of education about the ECS, or the body's endocannabinoid system. This is something that has been recently, I'd say within the last 10 to 15 years, studied through science and found, because it's not something that, you know, traditionally, I majored in biology, so I never heard of the endocannabinoid system when I was in school. So this is something that's pretty recent in terms of science finding that we have these CB receptors throughout our nervous system, and they're called CB1 and CB2. And as you can see, they're at all different parts of the body. So you have the brain, lungs, the vascular system, the liver, the colon, immune system, reproductive organs, muscles, bones, every place, spleen, pancreas. So the fact that we have these receptors means that our body needs CBD. So you can get CBD from natural sources like broccoli, but we know that in general, we do not get the proper amounts of overall nutrients in our system. And CBD is just another one that we do not get. So having a supplement that is going to bind to the receptors is going to be very powerful, especially if it's pure and it has maximum absorption. So a little bit about the endocannabinoid system in terms of what CBD can assist with. So this whole system is a network of receptors, like I said, and it controls some of our most vital life functions, like our immune system, our memory, our appetite, sleep pattern, mood, and pain sensation. So I know that there have been a lot of people that have been questioning about anxiety and depression and going off medication, and will CBD help with that? And the answer is yes. We have had people who have said that the CBD really calms them almost immediately, within 20 minutes to an hour. Now, of course, everybody's system is different due to the absorption level. However, with the formulation that we use with our product, we allow for what's called maximum bioavailability, meaning that the entire supplement gets to the cell. And it's just up to our individual bodies how our cells absorb it. If we absorb it quicker, if we absorb it more slowly. So some people, it'll be a few days before they start to see effects by taking the oil consistently. Other people, they'll see effects, like I said, very quickly, within 20 minutes. So some other disorders that we have seen research with CBD and that it could potentially help or assist with: Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, PTSD, Crohn's, testicular and prostate cancer. There have been several studies about CBD with cancer, with pain, migraines, MS, fibromyalgia, depression, epilepsy, diabetes, menstrual cramps, and rheumatoid arthritis. So these are all things that people are getting a lot of pain relief from with taking the CBD consistently. So what makes our product different? Okay, so Wholesal's product, we have arguably the best product on the market right now in terms of, well, pretty much everything. Because from plant to package, it is grown and produced in the United States. So we know that there aren't any other factors coming from different countries that could have harmful impurities. We have a US patent on our liposome technology. And the liposome technology, what a liposome is, let me just go to the next slide here. It's this right here. This is a giant liposome. So I know. But basically what it is, it's a fat bubble. Okay, so it's a fat bubble, and it's been used since the 1960s, actually, this liposome technology, and it was used in cancer patients for chemotherapy delivery. So anything that's inside this fat bubble gets protected as it goes through the digestive system. So normally with most supplements, you only get 10 to 15% absorption because they don't have that protection going through the digestive system, and it breaks it down and you excrete the majority out. Well, because we employ liposome technology with most of our supplements, all the ones that will be delivered best that way, because we do have some products that respond better to enzyme advantage technology, and those are more of our superfoods based products because that's the best way to get it to the cell with that particular supplement that we have. But with these supplements, and especially the CBD, we employ this liposome technology so that it gets protected as it goes through the digestive system. It can get absorbed directly into the bloodstream. And what happens is those outside hydrophilic or water-loving or fat-loving parts of the cell, they all like to bind to the cell. So what happens is, it assimilates to the cell, and then it dumps everything that is in it into the cell. So that whole fat bubble there, it binds because the outside of a cell has what's called a phospholipid bilayer, which is a fat layer. So fat likes to bind to fat. So it binds to it, dumps the nutrients, and then that's kind of your body. So that's what the bioavailability means. It means it's got like maximum bioavailability. It definitely gets to the cell. And then depending on your body, how it responds and the absorption rate of your cells, that is, what that's up to, that determines how quickly, that you get the actual absorption. So going back to this then, we have a patent, a US patent on that technology, meaning that nobody else can have that same technology. We only have the patent on it, okay? So we are also 100% THC free. So legally, since the Farm Bill passed in December of this past year, legally, you can have something on the market that is anywhere, it ranges, I think, from 0.1 all the way to 0.3% THC in a CBD oil product, and it's still considered legal. However, you could end up having THC show up on a drug test. So this is why health professionals and people who get tested frequently, government officials, that's why they don't want to risk it, because it could show up. Well, with ours, the hemp has been selectively bred, which means that in biology, if you talk about breeding plants, like or breeding animals, and you want to get a certain fur, or you want to get a certain color of a plant, what do? They keep breeding them together until they get that plant. So what they've done with our hemp is they've selectively bred the lowest and tiniest THC containing components of the hemp over and over and over, so that they actually bred it out. So they bred it out of the hemp completely. So it's not even in there. So they haven't used any kind of chemicals to get it out of there. They've just used that, selective breeding to do it. So you will not fail a drug test. We've already had a lot of testing done. People have had, and we do have the results of people who've been drug tested. There's absolutely nothing with THC, but you will see the presence of cannabinoids, obviously, but that's, normal. So it also is organic compliant, it's non-GMO, and it's broad spectrum. Okay. So did someone have a question real quick?
Yeah.
Who had a question?
I did.
Oh,
Um,
okay, Meg. Go
it's
ahead.
in the chat, but my question was around what is the fat that we are binding ours with? I mean, I'm just curious about that because I have some people who are vegan, who are vegetarian, and they ask a lot of questions about those types of things. Some who won't take certain omegas because they aren't plant-based.
Mm-hmm. Ours is completely organic. Everything is vegan that we have. All of our products are vegan. We do have in our Core Complete, we have a salmon containing omega. So that would be the only thing. But with this, the CBD oil, there's really nothing in that that would be, you know, harmful.
Okay.
Or if you're vegan, it wouldn't have anything to do with that.
Wonderful. I just wanted to run that one by. Thank
Yeah,
you.
you're welcome. So these are our other products as well. So we have 10 different products, and they're each in their own billion-dollar categories. So they're not going to cannibalize each other, right? They're not going to cannibalize each other and compete with each other in the marketplace. So, but they are the top in the marketplace because of our delivery system, and that's why our company has done over $100 million in sales in just 2 years, because people are actually feeling the benefits of the supplement. So they just keep buying. And we see now, especially with the CBD, that it comes in, we have both an oil and a cream. And the cream has just been amazing as well. People are, rubbing that and feeling effects of that almost immediately. So that's another amazing benefit to the CBD. So the top ones that you see, the CBD, the Eternal, the Renew, the Sleep, and also the Neuro. All of them are the liposome technology. I believe the Vtox is also liposome technology. The weight management, the V-Slim, the V3, and the Core Complete, they employ what's called an enzyme advantage technology because they are superfoods based. So it depends on the ingredients that are in the supplements, how we can best deliver them to the cell. So what happens with the enzyme advantage, what an enzyme does is it starts or it initiates or speeds up reactions in the body. So it's the best way to get those particular supplements where they need to go. So with that.
That's interesting. I had thought for sure that the Eternal would be enzyme based.
Oh, no.
Because it's so much superfood, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. Nope. It's liposomal.
So if we're talking about the cream and the oil, and you're probably going to get to this, but you mentioned just now about the cream and it's taking effect. Mm-hmm. So I had hoped to get the oil because with my fibromyalgia, in my mind, I thought that the oil would be the better delivery system to address the whole body. Mm-hmm. But are you suggesting that with the cream that I can get very similar results?
I would say the cream would be something for immediate relief that you could just apply topically and get some pain relief, on something with muscles and, some kind of soreness, but I would also say that you should definitely be doing the oil because you're going to get pain relief from that internally. So it's going to help it's going to help. I would say the fibromyalgia, it would help that more to take the oil over time. You would have probably less episodes.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. So now here's the other thing. So everybody's heard of CBD on the market, all of this, like it's this huge boom industry right now. So what that means is that it's going to balloon out in the next 3 years. Forbes is predicting this industry to increase by 700% to up to $21 billion, right? So it's really where the market is going and everyone's trying to capitalize it. So you're seeing on it. So that's why you're seeing all these different companies pop up. You see HempWorks, you see, just other random people saying that they're selling CBD, making CBD. So, there are a lot of different, there are a lot of different ways that you can go about it. But what I would say is to always check the THC content, always check to see, if it's liposomal and if it's got a US patent and if it's organic and if it is from plant to package grown in the United States, because if it's not any of those things, then it's not competition with ours. And what I'll also say is that when you think about absorption, with our product, some people will say, well, it's more expensive than, say, HempWorks, but actually it's the same price, because with HempWorks, what you would need to do is buy 2 to 3 bottles of that product to achieve the same absorption level and get the same benefit that you will just for one 30-day supply of ours. So it actually is the same price. So that's another thing to look out for when you're looking at, you know, how much THC, you know, per milliliter, how much CBD, you know, that you're actually getting in your system. Okay. So
Barbara,
yes.
Barbara, I missed that before. I heard you say that with typical products, non-liposome technologies, we're only getting about 10% of whatever they're delivering.
With typical supplements, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
On the market, you know, not with CBD, like particular, I can't say with particular with CBD with like different companies with HempWorks, how much absorption they're saying right now. But
sure,
typically with most supplements like that you get at a GNC, it's right around 10 to 15%.
What's ours?
Yeah, and that's why people in the health field really don't back them, right? Just because of that.
So what's our percentage? Do we know that? I'm not sure that.
Well, again, all we can say for sure is that we have maximum bioavailability, meaning that it will get to the cell. Everybody is different, but we've seen absorption levels anywhere from 90% up to 100%. Slower, it could be, you know, a slower absorption rate, and it could be a lower absorption level based on that particular person, because everybody's different. So maybe you would get 20%. So it just depends on both the supplementation, and it depends on the person's, the individual person's absorption rate and absorption level. But it has the best chance because it actually gets to the cell, whereas the other ones don't even get to the cell, most of it, because of the technology.
Okay.
Yeah.
One of the critical factors is whether or not you are deficient.
Yes.
CBD. So if you are not deficient, you're not going to absorb much that comes in, but you wouldn't need to be taking the product anyway. If you are deficient, the amount of deficiency you have will greatly impact the total amount of absorption. Tracy talks about just straight CBD oil of having absorption between 4 and 7%. And so I think it's important to understand the magnitude of the difference. We're talking of something that is, you know, 10 to 15-fold the potential absorption of a product that doesn't have the unique delivery system like ours does.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for that, Jay. So now here's the thing though, when you're thinking about how can I capitalize this because people are trying to build businesses, and you're probably seeing places, actual traditional businesses popping up that sell hemp, right? Or that sell CBD oil, right? So the best way to go about this though now is to partner with, I would say, the number one product. That's number one. And this is just a very brief video here with our mentor, Rick Gutman.
Every person on this Forbes list can take you back to a time where they executed a moment when they were surrounded by people that said, oh, you shouldn't do that. Oh, you shouldn't do this. It probably won't work for you. All the naysayers, all the critics. But entrepreneurs see things that nobody else sees. They operate in a world that nobody else sees. They can take you back to a time where they executed a moment, and it literally changed the direction of their business, the direction of their life. Now, we stand at the forefront of CBD, a boom product that's been asking to be legalized for decades and decades, and now it's finally here. Now we can teach you how to build a business that is leveraging a system, a business that becomes debt-free, a business that is rooted in 100% passive income that has the ability to become a global distribution organization.
Okay, so with that, you might say, well, how could you do that? And this is why having a business school for the person who is just, you know, you could be, have entrepreneurial tendencies, or you could already be in business for yourself. You could be looking to somehow capitalize on this for extra income, or maybe you just want to get your product paid for. So either way, whatever it is that your particular goal is, we can teach you how to build a business, because we have this virtual online business school that Rick runs for us through Facebook, where he teaches us live financial education and things that I'm going to teach you now. He goes through that with us 3 nights a week. So if you plug into that business school, you watch the trainings, and then you allow us to mentor you, those who have been in the business for a while longer. We help you set up your own individual franchise, and then you learn how to expand that so that you're building franchises globally all over. So we would show you how to own a business. If you wanted to just showcase CBD, if you wanted to do it, with all of our supplements, it really doesn't matter, because what we do is we teach about the system of network marketing. So when you franchise with us, you're going to have minimal startup costs, very low overhead. You're not going to have bank loans. You're not going to have any personal guarantees, employees, or franchise fees. So this is the best method to wealth creation, especially if you don't have a lot of money to invest in a business. And this is Rick, our team leader, and Rick has actually been a multiple 7-figure earner in the network marketing industry for the last 14 years. He was also a top 30 earner in the world back in the 90s in real estate and the diamonds and gemstones industry. So he has a broad background in business in general. He studied directly under Robert Kiyosaki, who is the author of the Rich Dad, Poor Dad book and one of the top entrepreneurs in the world. So he studied directly under him for 5 years. So he employs everything in our business school that he learned when he was mentored by Robert Kiyosaki. So that's what we lead with, and that's what makes us different, because no other team in network marketing, forget about just, any other company, but no other team, even in our own company, has this business school, and it kind of separates us from everybody, right? So we're not going and posting about just product and splashing up, buy my product, join my team, right? We're educating people about the business behind it. Yes, our products are number one. And they have to be. They have to be, on a scale of 1 to 10, they have to be a 10. And that is what we have with our product. The leadership, the company has to be solid and stable. And like I said, we're entering year 3, and we've already done over 100 million in sales. Our first month, we did 11 million in sales, which broke the network marketing record. So out of over 40,000 network marketing companies, only 11 have ever done what's called become a legacy company. And that's when you do $1 billion in sales per year. And our CEO, he's responsible for 2 of those companies already. So he previously was the CEO of Monavi, and he was also involved in USANA. So he built both of those companies to $1 billion in sales per year. So do you think he's going to do it a third time? Probably. And we already are on track to do that, because we're breaking every record so far in the industry. And we're already in 12 countries after just 2 years. So that's a good sign as well. So you can definitely build a global business right from your phone. You can do it online. We teach you how to be present on social media, how to, brand yourself, and how to financially educate your network, how to grow your network. You just have to do it. You just have to be open to learning and implementing. So another reason why the business school is so key is that people have fear with this, because it's like anything else, putting yourself out there and doing things that you've never done before is scary. So the business school is rooted on 7 pillars, which Rick teaches us something every week, 3 times a week. Like I said, we're learning something either that is building us physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, financially, or with time strength, because that's the biggest thing in our business, in our industry. There's very, very low retention overall because people get in, they don't have the mentorship, or they get in and they're scared and they don't have that personal development happening. They're not engaging in pushing themselves, letting action be their coach, and really filling themselves up with positive, and not only just positive personal development, but also filling themselves up with the knowledge and the education and practicing and then failing forward. So it's like everything else when you are learning, you have to, it's like when you're in school to get a degree, you have to give yourself the time to learn the skill and to fail forward, right? Because that's how you get better. You just have to put yourself out there. And the great part is you have a great support system to do that with us. So we help you along in that process. So even if you don't understand everything or how to do everything, that's why the person who brings you into the business is here to help you with three-way calls, to do presentations like this, because we have been in it longer. So you want to lean on us while you're learning. So you're earning while you're learning. So Rick always talks about how your network is your net worth. So even if you don't have a network right now, when I first came on Facebook, I had maybe 100 friends. I don't know, but you don't have to worry about it. I built it up over 5 years and now I have close to 5,000 friends. So again, it's something that you just build over time, but that doesn't mean that you need all those people to build a strong, solid business, because you can do it if you get about 4 or 5 serious people who want to run with you, and then they bring their networks. So we're stacking networks. We're all working together as a team. And that's what network marketing is. When you're building a team based on stacking networks and you're teaching that system of duplication. So you sign on and we teach that you bring on 2 people. Okay, and then you teach them how to sign up 2 people. So, and everybody gets plugged into the business school to learn the model and to be fed, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, so that you can create that rigor, those strength, those internal resources inside of you, that strength to deal with the rigors of business, right? Because this is not an easy thing. So I don't want anybody to think, oh, it's not easy and it's not for everybody, but anyone can do it if they're willing to learn a skill and apply what we're taught. So the richest people in the world look for and build networks, and everyone else just looks for work. So that's a quote from Robert Kiyosaki. And so if you look at that and you really consider it with this cash flow quadrant, this was the first thing that we learned in our business school. And this is based on Robert Kiyosaki's book that he talks about it. So if you look at the richest people in the world, those people in that big business owner quadrant, people like Oprah Winfrey, Bill Gates, what do they all have in common? They have systems, right? They can go away for a month, 6 months, or even a year, and their business may still thrive without them because they have multiple businesses, multiple CEOs. They have people who are running it, right? So the only downfall is that most people don't have the money to be in that big business owner category. First of all, you have to have 500 or more employees. And second of all, you've got to have millions to kind of start something like that. But what we teach in our business school is how people can become a big business owner and be in that quadrant for minimal costs. So if you look on the left side of the quadrant, which is 95% of people are in that employee quadrant, and you really are just trading your time for dollars, and you have one way that you're getting paid, right? So there really isn't a lot of wealth creation going on there. And today, in today's world, you need to have something that's generating while you're sleeping. And that's what network marketing can do for you if you build it. And then you have people who are already business owners. They're self-employed. They've bought themselves a job. And yes, they don't have a boss, but they also have a lot of headaches that come along with that. And they necessarily don't have time, because whenever they go on vacation, the business kind of goes with them because no one can do it as well as they can. So there's really not a lot of leverage there. And they are the system, and they have to worry about employees, payroll, and there could be a high startup costs, for the first 2 years in any traditional business. A lot of times, you have bank loans that you're paying back, and you're pretty much paying the bank to go to work every day. So you don't really start cash flowing in most traditional businesses until year two or three. So, and then the investor category is where everybody wants to be. And that's what we also learn in the business school is then when we make money, in network marketing, and there's a lot of cash flow coming in, and we start to pay off debt, and we start to have all of this residual passive income. Now, what can we reinvest that money in? Other cash flowing assets, right? So that now we're getting multiple streams of income. And I like that too, because Rick not only teaches us how to be successful in network marketing, but then once we do well in it and we're making money, we're taught, okay, strategically, where should we invest this money so that we can keep making more money, so that we can get out of that rat race eventually, and then we can retire with enough money in retirement so that we can live comfortably and we don't have to worry about money, right? So that's what I love about the business school. So your current options right now, right, you can be in plan A or you can do plan B. Plan A is you stay as an employee, you work 40 to 60 hours a week, and you retire with a third of your income. You can be a small business owner where the primary goal, you're to be your own boss, but like we said, high startup costs, and you have to worry about all the other things, credit, bank loans, employees, etc. And there's really not a lot of time freedom. And then secondary income, if you do plan B, is when you keep your primary income stream and then you just invest a couple hours, a week. If you can invest an hour a day in doing things that are going to build your business over time, and these are things like plugging into our trainings in our business school, doing things that are going to make you mentally stronger, applying what you're learning in the business school by either reiterating things that you're learning in a post on social media, or you're just talking to people about it, and you're sharpening your communication skills, you're letting action be your coach, you're going out and getting in front of people and telling them about what you're learning. And that is what I have found to be the most the thing that works the best, is that I just get excited about talking about the business school because nobody else has that. And I think it's pretty cool that we can learn from a multimillionaire, and not just him. We have Matt Williams, we have Frank Soshnick. Both of them are multimillionaires too in several different businesses, so we have a lot of mentors on our team that we get to learn from just for free, by signing up. And yeah, if you're serious, you would want to be on product, because if you're a business, you would want to be consuming the product and sharing a small amount of the product. But this is not a business where you have to bring in a whole garage full of products and have that, because if you have a garage full of products, that just means you're not working your business. If you've got a lot of extra, because you should be sampling all of that out to people and talking about what you're learning with the business at the same time. So with plan B, if you invest that time, if you engage in our business school and you follow the system that we teach you, in 1 to 2 years, if you're consistent, you could be generating anywhere from $26,000 to $52,000 a year. And in 3 to 5 years, you could generate more than $100,000. Some people move slower, some people move faster. It does depend on if you have a network already, what your influence is. Are you an influencer? Are you a person who knows everybody and who everyone knows, likes, and trusts, right? Or do you have to take time to build that network? Either way, everybody is different. So as long as you just see where you are and you keep trekking forward with it, then you're going to be successful. But the key is most people get tired and they don't stay engaged in the business school. And when that happens, they never see what their potential is. I always tell people, commit to a year, be here a year from now, because if you invested like thousands upon thousands in a traditional business, would you stick it out for a year to make it work? Yes, absolutely you would, right? Because you've got money to pay back. But the problem is this isn't a very high investment. You can come in for as low as $50 or as much as $1,500. And $1,500, what other business that can cash flow up to millions potentially, what other business can you start for $1,500. So even people who have come in on bigger packs like that and invested that kind of money, they still don't take it as seriously. They never treated it. They don't treat it like a $1 million business with their work ethic towards it. So if you treat it like a business, then businesses put money in your pocket. If you treat it like a hobby, then you are going to lose money. So hobbies take money out of your pocket, and that's what Rick teaches us. So it just depends on you, your goals, and where you want to be. So with our company, we get paid 8 different ways. And I would go through these more with people who want to learn more about that. But basically, we have profit sharing, which is very attractive, which is a 3% global leadership bonus that you achieve. And like I said, we're in 12 countries right now. So that's paid out weekly when you achieve a lower rank in our organization. So a lot of times that pool is reserved for people at the very top high ranks in the company, but we have the exposure to that profit sharing at one of the lower ranks. So and it's completely doable for people. We also have rank advancement bonuses, multiple business centers. We have lifestyle trips, and we, can get paid obviously on customer sales that we do, but we kind of really lead with trying to introduce the business to brand partners, people who want to work the business, because that's really how your business grows in the long term. Customer sales are fine, but if you want to build a stable business that flows, that cash flows consistently, you're going to have to get people on board who want to actually work a business. And that's why team commission and matching bonuses, that's the highest way or the best way that you can make money in this, right? Matching bonus is the purest form of franchising, because what that is you're getting bonus from the company whenever the people that you sign on, when they start accruing a lot of bonuses, that means their franchises are doing well. So think about if you set up a McDonald's and you're an area manager for all the McDonald's. Well, if all of those McDonald's are thriving and you're setting up all of those and you're helping them thrive and plug them into that system of duplication, then you're going to get bonused by the company because you're working, right? And you're doing well. So it's the same concept with this. So not only are you going to get paid on individual customer sales and introducing the business with product to people, but you're also going to get paid based on team commissions. So everybody, when everyone is working together, and also that matching bonus where, if you're doing a good job as a leader and you're plugging people in, then that's really where a lot of the crazy money is right there. So how would you get started? Well, the business model is very simple. Viseo, we leverage that as a fulfillment center. Okay, so they worry about the headaches. They do the product, they do the shipping, they take the orders, customer service, they pay us, all of that. And what we do is we are our best customer, meaning we use our own products and we merchandise out a small amount to people. And we then show those people how to do the same thing. So how to use their own products and merchandise out a small amount. That is what the pattern is. And to get started, it's very easy. You come in on an appropriate kit for whatever your goals are. Like I said, there's just a one-time startup fee of $49.95. And then after that, if you decide to keep your retail sites open, you would get charged $29.95 per year. So there isn't even a monthly fee. It's just a yearly fee. So if you sign up today, then next year on this date is when you'll get charged $29.95 if you want to continue. But if you don't want to continue, then you wouldn't obviously be charged that fee. So you would order the appropriate kit. You would get plugged into our business school automatically. I would be plugging you into our training school as training videos and helping you get started and acclimating you to everything as well. Then you're going to set up what's called your loyalty convenience program, or your LCP. What that is auto ship. So we would talk about that more in detail. Again, like what financially you could do. You don't have to be on auto ship, but if you're serious about building a business and you're portioning out, merchandising out product, then you're going to need to replace that. right? Each month, because you are a business. And then you generate income using the system. And this is the system. We are in a binary, what's called a binary compensation structure, which is built for long-term financial stability. If you are at a unilevel that is not built for long-term financial stability, that is really basically built for short-term cash flow, quick cash, and then, you don't get paid after a certain number of levels deep. With a binary, you can get paid infinitely down in your organization. So you go to STAR, which is our very first rank, by signing up 2 people. So if you know 2 people who need to eat, sleep, feel better, maybe lose weight, have more energy, or who need to make extra money, yeah, I think you could probably think of a couple people like that in your life. And all you do is you talk to them and you say, hey, I've, just been brought into a new venture, that I'm doing. I'm doing this venture, and it's really great because I'm learning all about money and financial education and cash flow. And, I'm learning from a multimillionaire 3 nights a week. I mean, this is what I talk about. When people ask me how I'm doing, I'll ask them how they're doing. I'll listen to them. And then they ask me what I'm doing. I tell them. And I'm like, I'm building this business. It's really great. I'm getting to work with this man, and I talk about it. And then I tell them a little bit about the company and how excited I am. And then I'm like, I don't know. It could be for you. It may or may not be for you. But I remember how you said that you were thinking about getting a part-time job this summer. It might be something you would want to check out. And I can get you on the phone with my sponsor if you want to learn more about it. And that's it. And then we help you and we explain the business, right? But it's basically just talking to people. And as long as you just keep it very simple, where you are teaching, you get 2 people on board and then teach them how to get 2 people by doing that same process, then the duplication occurs in your business. And that's how, over time, you build a very solid organization. So these are just different ways of getting paid. And this is the Cheque Match that I was talking about before, the purest form of franchising, how, the company bonuses you based on how well you help people with their businesses, and it pays up to 7 generations deep. So if you think about generations, your children, their children, which are your grandchildren, all the way down to your great, 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 great grandchildren. So if all of them do really well and they start commissioning and they start, really bonusing a lot in their own businesses, and the company's going to bonus you a percentage of that to say thank you. And that's really where you start to get your time freedom back. Okay. Because in the beginning, it's going to be work to get it started, obviously, because you start with 2 and then it multiplies over time if you get more and more people engaged. So what can you do to plug into this? Well, like I said, our mentors have over 50 years of combined experience. We believe that if you build the people will build the business. So people build systems and systems build wealth. So the business school, the training events that we have available with both the company and our team, we have a leadership event actually coming up in Chicago, April 11th, where that's just our team, business school team. And it's just going to be it's going to be for us and learning, directly from Rick and some of the other leaders on our team. So it's a really good conference whenever we go to just our team, because we really learn how to run the business and how to work it. So where do you see yourself? Do you see yourself as becoming a wholesale consumer or a franchise partner, right? So if you just want to consume the products and get them at a discount and then share with other people, you can do that where you just have primarily customers. That's fine. Or if you want to actually build something, a cash flowing asset that grows exponentially over time, then you would purchase an enrollment kit, you'd set up your auto ship, and you'd plug into our business school, and then you'd follow the system. And we would help you do that the entire time. So with that, that is the end of my presentation.